Hey everybody, welcome to today's live stream. I'm super excited about this topic today. I have a lot to share with you. I've got my notes, and so let's get ready to go. So my name is Christina Moidel. I am the owner and founder of Inner Resonance Healing. I am a certified hypnotherapist. I'm an energy healer, a psychic medium. Back in the day, I was a health coach. I taught fitness, and I'm a holistic nutrition counselor. So I've spanned the whole gamut of holistic health studies. And what's interesting is I was able to first kind of focus on the physical. So I taught dance, and then I learned about nutrition, and then I learned about energy and stress and the impact of that on the physical body. And it all goes together. And that's what's so beautiful about this whole process. So today we're going to be talking about what to do when you feel anxious and overwhelmed most days. Everyone has a little, it's very normal to have some kind of anxiety or worry or feeling like you have too much to do. But when that is the majority of your days, it really gets in the way of you achieving what you want to achieve. And today I want to talk to you about how to really be intentional with your time. And it's important to take action on this. So if you have a notebook nearby, somewhere you can write something down, and that will be super helpful because the most successful people will learn something and implement. So the faster you can learn and implement, the quicker it becomes a habit and the quicker it becomes sort of like ingrained into your subconscious and your new way of being. So again, grab a notebook so that you can take some notes. I'm going to give you some home play or homework, and then you'll be able to change this around for you. So again, I invite you to take action today and not just consume information, even if it's something very small. So I'll give you examples in a bit. And so the first thing I want to talk about is the problem with distraction. It's kind of obvious, but when you're distracted and not focused, you really don't accomplish much. For example, if you get distracted by social media, for example, we tend to scroll maybe late at night or even first thing in the morning. And then you notice that hours have gone by and you haven't accomplished anything. And there could be other things like television that are similar. Anything that takes away from the time you could be spending doing something that is productive. And when I say productive, I don't mean the grind and work. I mean, it could be also just meditation. That is a productive use of time. But if you're on a video game or watching TV or just mindlessly scrolling, then you're missing out on that time, which you could be meditating or doing something that helps feed your soul, your body, your mind. So the image that my spirit guides gave me for this was the endless pool. Have you seen commercials for that where it's a small pool and it creates a current and you can swim in it, but you don't actually go anywhere? So I thought that was an interesting image because then it kind of shows you you're moving, you're doing stuff, but you're not really going anywhere. You're not really accomplishing anything. You're not getting to the end of the pool. It doesn't let you. It's just a constant treading water and nothing's really happening. So if you feel like you're in an endless pool and not really accomplishing things or moving closer to your goals, then this is going to be really beneficial for you today. So you have to prioritize the things that are most important and you have to schedule it. So in the previous email, I wrote about the 80-20 rule, that your 80% of your results comes from 20% of your efforts. So if you were to make a list of 10 to 15 activities that could be beneficial for you to achieve a certain goal, you're not going to want to do those 10 or 15 things. It's too many things. You will be inconsistent. It's not enough focused energy, and it will ultimately fail. So what you want to do is pick your top 2 to 3 most important tasks that can get you closer to your goal, the things that are most effective, most impactful, right? So this is the difference between succeeding or not succeeding. If you are not focused, you're not going to be able to get there. If you don't know where you're going, you're definitely not going to be able to get there. So it's really just breaking things down and being really intentional with what you're doing. Oftentimes, we have so much that we want to do, we feel confused and overwhelmed. This is where the anxiety can come in because you fear the future because you don't know what's going to happen, because you feel out of control. And maybe there's just too much stuff with family. Maybe you're a mom. Maybe you're taking care of a family member. Maybe there's just things pulling you in lots of different directions. You have work, you have home life, you have all kinds of things that are pulling at you and demanding your attention. So it's so, so critical to be intentional with your time. You have to be mindful of it. And what's funny is if you saw the graphic for this live stream that I posted this morning, you'll see a photograph of me with my feet, and I'm wearing two different shoes. The reason for that was there was one day where I left my house at night, I went to my boyfriend's house. The next morning, I realized I had grabbed and worn two different shoes to his house. And they're the same shoe, but they're different colors. So I didn't feel any different. I just wasn't paying attention. And so if you're not being mindful about how you're spending your day, you're going to be walking around with two different shoes. Was it the end of the world? No, of course not. It was a little bit weird going into breakfast with two different shoes, but that's just what happens when you're not paying attention. And you're more likely to make mistakes. You're more likely to have accidents, and just like things that you don't want to happen are more likely to happen when you're just not being mindful, when you're not paying attention. And so, again, wearing two different shoes, not the end of the world, but it can be serious. It can be more serious than that when you're not paying attention, not being intentional. What's coming to me now is, in particular, it's real obvious, like physical health. If you're not intentional about how you take care of your body, then sickness, disease, accidents, illness, like all these things can happen more frequently, and it's more likely to happen. So it's, again, really important how you decide to take care of yourself. So there's a resource in here in the files section. It's called the Wheel of Life. And it's just one example of different categories or how you might break up the things you want to focus on in your life. So on this Wheel of Life, which you can download, is relationships, spirituality, health, personal growth, finance, family, career, relaxation, and I would add fun and home. So there's like different categories. You can choose to use these categories, or something else feels better to you, feel free to do that. But you'll want to assess where you are in all those categories in your life. How satisfied are you with your relationships? If you're in this group, I kind of know that you're not satisfied right now with your relationships. You feel a certain level of dissatisfaction, can range from 0 to 10. And you'll want to sort of rate like where you are with your health. It could be physical health, where you are with your career, how much fun you're having, how much time for relaxation. So once you've decided which areas you want to focus on the most, again, here in this group, we're talking about relationships, but ultimately all areas matter, all areas are important, and everything is connected. Nothing is separate. Your physical health needs to be kind of a top priority, because if you don't have your physical health, mental health, spiritual health, emotional health, then you can't have positive, healthy relationships either. So again, you kind of have to do these things in tandem. But again, let's not get overwhelmed. We don't want to do everything at once. We want to pick the highest priority categories and then the highest priority tasks. For example, I know that my health is really, really, really important to me. It's my top priority, because without my health, I don't have really anything else. I don't have a future. Nothing else really matters if you don't have health. Like, your quality of life is so, so important. So if I can impart anything to you today, it's just that your physical, mental, emotional health is the top priority. It has to be. And if you aren't taking care of yourself, then we have work to do. And it's okay. This isn't to guilt or shame anyone. It's just to let you know that your priorities need to be reassessed and reorganized. All of this can change. So this is the beautiful part. And that's why you're here, because you want this change. So, for example, When my daughter was sick and I was sick, I was not sleeping. I had stress going on in my life. I was not sleeping. I was grouchy. I was sad. I was frustrated. I felt terrible. Sleep is so important. I wasn't getting those basic things. So my resilience was low, my immune system was low, I'm getting goosebumps. This is huge. My just like I said, stress resilience, like my ability to roll with stuff was like non-existent. And then add like hormonal stuff in there, like I was a mess. So sleep's really important. That is a super, super duper big focus, right? If you're not sleeping, then nothing else is really going to feel good. So, first we address, okay, why are you not sleeping? Is it bedtime routine? Is it hormones? Is it anxiety? Is it blood sugar? What is it, right? We need to figure out why you're not sleeping, why you're not able to fall asleep, or why you're not staying asleep. And then we can address the root cause of that, whatever that may be. It's going to be different for everyone. Once you're sleeping, then the other stuff is going to come more easily. Okay. Another example, if you feel like you're not having any fun, like you're doing work and you're momming and you're wifing or partnering and doing all these other things for other people, and you're like, wow, I'm really not having any fun in my life. I'm not able to do things I want to do. Whether that's listening to music or dancing or art or bicycling, anything that feels fun to you, you have to prioritize that stuff because you're just going to feel resentful, again, overwhelmed because you're not decompressing. You're not bringing your nervous system down to a place that feels comfortable and relaxed. So the relaxation and having fun helps with that. It's automatically going to combat the anxiety and overwhelm that you might feel in your daily life. So again, prioritizing what matters to you and really, really being intentional about doing those things. Okay, hopefully all of that makes sense. And the other thing I want to talk about is efficiency. Like I really care about efficiency, and people in my family might complain about this, but I really feel like there's an efficient way to do things. And I might be a little bit particular about it, but it's because it saves so much time. And there are lots of different ways to complete a task. For example, doing dishes. Let's take a dish as an example. When I fill the dishwasher, I have a particular way because I want to make it the most efficient way possible to unload the dishwasher. So I like putting like things together, okay? For me, it's an efficiency thing. It's not a controlling thing. It's like when I go to put these dishes away, I want to do it as quickly as possible so I can get on to doing the things that I really enjoy doing, okay? So there's always a reason for everything that I do. I enjoy making things more efficient. That's just my personality. Does it have to be yours? No. But can you take this concept and decide, like, well, if I need to take the laundry upstairs and I'm doing more laundry, then I should bring the basket down again because then I don't have to go back up and get the basket again, right? People will bring laundry up and leave the basket, but we're still doing more laundry. It's those little things. It might save you 15 seconds this time, but imagine how many minutes, days, weeks, years we're wasting when we're not being efficient. Okay. So it's just one thing that you can consider to incorporate if that feels like beneficial to you. Okay. So when you're talking about creating space for the things you want to do, but also being intentional about the things you have to do, it's important to create some boundaries for yourself, boundaries around your own time. Give yourself some parameters. The image that my spirit team gave me for this was at the bowling alley. You know, when the kids get little bumpers, it's like it like guarantees their success that the ball is going to get down the lane and hopefully hit some pins. Granted, at the last minute, it can veer off into the gutter still. But those bumpers really do increase the odds that these kids are going to be able to hit some of those pins. So imagine that your parameters, your boundaries are increasing your rates of success. Okay. What does this look like? For example, if you know that getting on your phone first thing in the morning is going to eat away, say, 2 hours of your time, maybe you put your phone in another room so that you're not grabbing it first thing. or you want to be able to exercise, but you just have a hard time doing it. When you get up in the morning, put your workout clothes on, because now you've already set the intention to go move your body. You're already dressed, so you don't have to worry about that later. You're not going to take a shower because you're going to go exercise. So you're creating these little habits, little basically guidelines, boundaries, parameters, so that you can set yourself up for success. So these things take intentional effort, because it's not your normal routine. Our brains are wired for ease and energy conservation. We do what we do always because it's an easy pattern and we don't have to think about it. So changing habits can be challenging when we're used to doing something else. Perfect example is New Year's resolutions. People fall off after about a week or less because it's just not ingrained yet. It's not a habit. It's not natural. It doesn't feel natural. So to create a new habit, it has to become natural, something that you do automatically. I brush my teeth and floss my teeth every night. It's just what I do. It's my habit. I don't have to think about it. I don't talk myself out of it. I don't hem and ha like, ugh, am I going to do that? No, I just do it because it's part of my routine. At first, creating new routines can be challenging. However, with hypnotherapy and energy healing, it goes so much more easy. It's way easier, it's faster, it's less painful, and it just feels like magic, honestly. So we can talk about that a little bit later, but I just want to plant the seed that like you can change whatever you want to change. There are always solutions. And you might be asking yourself, like, what does this have to do with breaking the cycle of toxic relationships? Because that's why we're here, right? You signed up for this and joined this group because you have a desire to break the cycle of toxic relationships. And the answer to that is, like, when you feel successful in your life and you hold yourself to a higher standard, you are also going to attract people who held themselves to a higher standard, who are also successful. When you create the habit of being successful, i.e., deciding to get up and put your exercise clothes on, whether or not you exercise, you begin to feel successful because you decided to do something and you followed through. That creates a pattern, some happy chemicals, and you're like, wow, I feel successful. Okay. All these little things add up. Feeling successful, feeling like you accomplished something, tricks your brain into knowing that you're successful. Okay. It just takes practice. And when you treat yourself well, when you take care of yourself, when you follow through and have integrity, doing the things you say you're going to do, of course, life gets in the way sometimes. That's okay. But the majority of the time, if you are saying one thing and doing another, there's a discrepancy. You're out of alignment. There's going to be internal struggle and strife, and you're just not going to feel good. So, treating yourself well attracts people who are also going to treat you well. That's how energy works. And if you care about how you feel and you care for your physical body, you're going to attract people who care about you and consider your feelings. And basically, when you know that you're worthy of more, you will not entertain anyone who offers you less. That's the bottom line. So, you know that being healthy is an inside job. Nobody else can do it for you. Also, you're not responsible for anyone else's happiness. You're not responsible for anyone else's thoughts, behaviors, mood, anything. Okay. Yes, we are meant to co regulate and coexist, but you cannot take responsibility for anyone else. And same, you can't expect other people to take responsibility for you and what you're doing. And yes, you can help each other. For example, if you have a partner or a friend who wants the same kind of goal that you want to achieve, like say you want to exercise every day, you want to move your body every day. Well, maybe you take a friend with you because then you can do it together and you feel like more inspired, accountable, but more dedicated, right? When you know someone's going to be at the gym waiting for you, you're more likely to actually go. So there is power in that. There's power in community. Again, this is why we're here in this group. I really, really, really invite you to not just sit back and watch, but please participate. You are going to get the most change, the best results if you participate, if you implement, if you ask questions, if you get curious. Don't hide in this group. Don't hide. Be visible, okay? Be brave and share what you want to share. It really does help everybody else also be brave, also take action. So I'm encouraging you to really, really participate here. So I want you to know that solutions always exist. Oftentimes we'll just find excuses. Well, I can't do this because of that, and I can't do this because of that. Okay, but at some point you have to say, how can I do this? Just ask yourself, how can I do this? How can I make this happen? How can I make this easier for myself? How can I set myself up for success? Those are the kinds of questions that are going to move the needle in your life and in your healing journey and your transformation that you truly desire. How can I? That is the question I want you to write down in your notebook. And I also want you to think about, what's the minimum I need to do to feel successful? For me personally, when it comes to home, I need my dishes done. When I come down in the morning, I do not want to see a sink full of dishes and stuff on the stovetop and food bits everywhere. That just irks me. So I know that for my peace of mind, I must do my dishes at night. For me, doing dishes is a little bit meditative. It gives me like a quiet time to focus on anything I want, or just to even listen to music. It's fine, whatever I want to do. But I just know that I don't like the way I feel when I wake up to a sink full of dishes. So I have created the habit of doing it the night before so that I can feel better about my day when I wake up in the morning and go in the kitchen. So it's that kind of, I hope these give you some concrete examples of how you can choose what to prioritize and what to focus on in your life. Again, everything is changeable. There are always solutions. I just don't believe that there's anything that cannot be solved, because where there's a will, there's a way. And our bodies and our minds are amazing. And we have spirit teams to guide us and support us and send us love always. So there really is no excuse. And all you have to do is be committed, right? Why is it so hard to follow through with stuff? Either you're not committed. For example, if you want to, you say, I want to quit smoking. And I say, on a scale of 0 to 10, how badly do you want this outcome? It needs to be 7 out of 10 or higher. If it's a 4, it's probably not going to happen. You don't have enough desire for that outcome. Okay. And again, I'm not judging. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that that's where you are. So deciding how committed you are, how much you want an outcome, really is the first step in deciding what you're going to focus on and what you want to achieve. If you have a goal, but it's really someone else's goal, then you're not really going to be all in. There's a reason why you don't really want to, and that's okay. But again, deciding what for you matters, what's important to you, what goal you want to have, and then organizing your life in a way that actually makes sense. And let's see. All of this comes back to having a healthy relationship with yourself, right? That is actually the goal here, is to have a healthy body, mind, spirit, healthy relationship with yourself, because then, again, you're able to have a healthy relationship with other people. But it starts with you. You've got to love yourself. I've spoken to many of you who say that you want to love yourself again. Most of you have said that it's like you just don't feel the same about yourself. Your confidence is low. You're not, making the money you want. You don't feel like you're doing what you want or living your life the way you want to live it. So you've got to get back to you. And like I said, this can be challenging to change your habits. The most important thing is to start with one thing at a time. Okay? Decide what you want to focus on and just be laser focused on that thing. If it's food, if it's sleep, if it's meditation or relaxation or having more fun, whatever those things are, decide right now, commit to it, and find a way to get it into your schedule. Schedule it now so that you can prioritize it. Okay? You're in charge of your schedule and you're in charge of your life. what's coming in here now is also ask for help. If you have something on your plate that someone else can do, ready, willing, able, allow other people to do that so that you can prioritize yourself. Okay. So if you have household members, children, other people who can do the work too, enlist them for their help. Okay. So if you want to do this the easier way, I invite you to book a strategy session. Click on the link that's in the comments, or you can drop the word strategy in Messenger and I will respond to you. We can hook something up, okay? Like I said, there's a longer, harder route, which is like willpower, changing your habits, and then there's also the easy way, which is hypnotherapy and energy healing and the self-love practices that I use in my daily life and help my clients with also. So my empowered life method can work for everyone, but on the strategy session, we can talk about how it works specifically for you, your situation, your goals. Everybody's different, and I honor you for showing up, and everyone has different experiences. So we need to give a voice to all the things you've been through so that you can acknowledge, first of all, how much you've been through, how far you've come, and then to be able to set a real concrete plan of how to get to where you want to go. Whatever your goals are, I can help you get there. Okay. So this is the faster and much less uncomfortable way to get there. So just to recap, I want you to choose an area of your life where you want to be more intentional about your time. Decide what those activities are, what's going to make the most impact for you. And then I want you to actually implement it. Okay. Please, if you're watching the replay, type in #replay. If something comes up for you that you want to share, please be brave and share it here. Also, once you've written down what you're going to focus on, also share that here, or you can make your own post. I'm happy to approve that for you. So if you have any questions at all, I am here. Find me in Messenger, or you can comment on this video. I hope this is helpful. If you could also just give me your main takeaway. What are your ahas that have been impactful for you today? I shared a lot of information, but I know that something will hit you and you're going to be like, yes, that makes sense. So share your ahas here. And I just hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. It's sunny here today. It's going to be like 72. So my energy is way better. And yeah, I just wish you all the best. So keep in touch and let me know how it goes. See you later.